Well, you know the saying, all good things must come to an end. Well, here is the final stack of the records that I brought back from my recent Los Angeles vinyl road trip. I had these records stashed at friends' houses. You know, I bought them throughout the year and I scooped them up on this trip. And I also went to many record shops, many holes in the wall. I went to a few pawn shops even. Any place I think would sell records. Also, I went to the Orange County Record Show in Buena Park, as well as the Pasadena City College Record Fair as well. So, picked up a lot of great stuff, and here is the final stack. There's other videos of all the rest of the stuff if you want to check those out as well. Now, here is a Chuck Mosley, Joe Hayes session number 2. We had my friend Sean Franklin on the show, who runs Block Sonic, Block Global, put this record out. He sent a couple copies to my folks' house out there. I actually used one of the baggies to help transport this Daptone record. Now, I bought a Daptone record number 100, which was very limited. And it also came with this beautiful little kind of package. This is a playable die cut, and I believe there were only like, 200 of these made or something like that. I jumped on as soon as I belong to all these Facebook groups of all these different record companies. Whenever they put up something that's like, hey, check it out, and I'm interested in it, I jump on it right away. I don't hesitate, and that's why, a day after I bought this, they were all sold out. It also came with this, and I'm not sure exactly what this is. I will open it now, and we'll discover it together. Oh, geez. Oh, wow. Okay. Check it out. This is a poster of, looks like 145s from Daptone. Pretty sweet. That's nice. Down here at the bottom. Damn, that's a lot of 45s. So congratulations, Daptone. We had Neil Sugarman on the show. Episode 130, I think, something like that. Look it up. It was a good conversation. He did talk about this release. And so here is one that I got there. John Frusciante, Vimperian. I have an original pressing of this, and they did a 10-year anniversary repress. Those original pressings went as high as like $300-400. And so I bought 2 of these. I thought I'd take them back to Australia and get some lucky people involved in John Frusciante. He's starting to re-release more of his stuff now, which really makes me happy, so that's nice. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Shadows Collide with People's coming. Here we go, limited vinyl, Budos Band 5. I love Budos Band. If you don't know Budos Band, check them out. They kick butt. They are on the Daptone label. And so I picked up this limited color vinyl of their 5th album, as well as this etched version. This is a Budos Band etched EP. And that's kind of, let's see if I can get this right. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, etched EP. And then, of course, their 4th album, Burnt Offering. I forgot I ordered this, and I just bought a copy here in Sydney, so I'll have to, I'll have to figure out which one to get to keep and which one to, catch and release. All right, Serge Gainsbourg. I've always wanted an original French pressing of this album, and I'm lucky enough to have, where is it? To get 2 of them. I got 2 of them. So I'm going to keep, by the way, they're in just beautiful shape too. I think neither of them are first pressings. One's the 2nd, one's a 3rd. But just look, hang on, let me just show you this. Let me just show you how beautiful this one is. My goodness. I got this from a record dealer friend of mine. And, original inner sleeve. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. My goodness, it's like it's never even been played. It's just gorgeous. So, yeah, I am going to definitely enjoy this one. I feel very lucky to have not 1, but 2. So yeah, I will certainly be keeping at least 1 of these, perhaps 2. I'm not the type of guy who really needs like multiple copies of everything, but it's nice to be able to get them while they're there and, again, help other people get a copy. Red Cross, an original Red Cross on Smoke 7. This has the insert. So very happy about that. I've got a copy without the insert, so I'm going to be a nerd completist, and I will now have the insert for this Red Cross. Again, we've had Steve McDonald on this show. This is before Red Cross was spelled like Red Fox and then with a K, and he talked about this record as well. And here is the insert, and there's a young Steven hanging out in the urinal. So that's all good there. I've also got an Adolescence here. That's an original on Frontier with the insert. Inserting that. Yep. So nice. Yeah, just finding some of these records with these inserts is just so hard these days. And I've noticed a lot of vintage punk rock is drying up. So it's becoming very, very collectible, very expensive. And so, yeah, I'm glad I started collecting a long, long time ago. Not sure I could afford to replace my collection now. Donald Byrd, Blackbeard. I really like this album. This is a fantastic album, but I've never been able to find a really nice copy of it until now. And this is a UA pressing. And yeah, happy it is mine. Radio Birdman. Radio's appeared. This is a promo copy. Again, Dennis Tech, we've had on the show. And he gave us a full kind of rundown of the re-recording of this album. So yeah, this is quite cool. This is not the original album. This is a re-recording of the original album, which was an Australian-only release. So there's a couple different versions of this album. This is the US version when they were assigned to Sire. Leonard Cohen, Death of a Ladies' Man. Many of you have this in your collection, but do you have a promo copy? Maybe not. So there it is, promo copy of Leonard Cohen. Black Flag Damaged with the anti-parent sticker thing on there. Again, if you listen to episode number 100 of the Vinyl Guide, Henry Rollins tells this whole story. And I believe when we also had Chuck Dukowski on the show, he also alluded to it. And this is just a beautiful copy as well. So I'm very, this may be an upgrade for me here. Oh, Miles Davis. Oh, Miles Davis. This is a, it's not 3-eyed with misprint. It's actually a 6-eye. But yes, original press. Original kind of blue. I'm not going to open it right now, but you have to take my word for it. Andrew Hill, Compulsion. Very happy I found this. This is an audition copy. Andrew Hill, Compulsion. That's in a beautiful shape, too. It's a New York press. And it didn't have the ears, but I don't think this album was released with I don't think this album was released at a time that they had the ears. They were using the Plastilite company. And let me back up here. Blue Note Records used to use this particular company called Plastilite to press all their records, and they always put a big P in the runout groove, and it looked like an ear. So people say, oh, does the Blue Note record have the ears? And that kind of alludes to the fact of its authenticity. But once they sold Blue Note to Liberty Records, I think in '66, they stopped using just Plastilite, used a bunch of other pressing companies. So anything pressed after '66 does not have the ears. I think this came out after the fact. So yeah, it wouldn't have come with the ears. I could be wrong. But that's what I seem to recall. The Damned. This is on Stiff. This is an original Damned on Stiff Records. And I'm so lucky to have found this. I've been searching for one of these. I didn't realize I would find it in California. I found it at Permanent Records in Echo Park, I think. And it was a phenomenal price. It was great. And I was like, whew, damn, okay. I always thought I'd find it, in Australia since the UK pressing, but I guess not. Fear, the record. This is a second press. Great classic record. Here is the Blue Note, the 3 sounds. Actually, this was a record that I ordered about a year and a half ago. Had it sent to my parents' house, and then it arrived the day after I left. So I finally was able to pick this up. Oh, Bill Evans. Jim Hall Undercurrent. I've wanted an original copy of this, and I finally got one. I'm so stoked on this. And the thing is, with Bill Evans, he has such subtle piano. You need to have a really clean record. That's why you scratched up or beat up, even VG Plus. Bill Evans doesn't really cut it. You need to have just a beautiful, clean copy. And that's why, if you can't afford an original pressing, which I didn't think I was going to be able to afford original pressing for this, but I did, go to Analog Productions. They have some great repressings from the original master tapes that are, probably superior to this one anyway, but I got an original press, which is nice. East Broadway Rundown, Sonny Rollins, Orange Impulse. Flipper, yes, U.S. press, all inserts. Fantastic. Now this part of the stack came from this music shop that just had a stack of records that someone had donated, and they were just giving them. Well, they were selling for maybe $5 each, and that money was going to go to fund some music lessons. For kids, free music lessons, which I thought was really cool. And they also had a free pile too. So this was in the free pile. So I'm like, all right, I'll get the free pile. James Gang, $5 for that one. That was nice. Springsteen, yep, that was one of the ones that $5. And these were all in really nice shape. I'm not a huge Bon Jovi fan. Hair metal, I haven't really listened to a lot of that in years. But these are really nice copies. And again, I'll take them to the next record fair, and they will help pay for my next trip to the U.S. Brat, the EP. I need to look this up. This is an EP. This is on Time Coast Communicate. I don't know if that makes it special. Before they were signed to Atlantic Records, I believe. So I don't know. I'll have to look that up. So this may be an extra, especially unique pressing there. Invasion of Your Privacy, Accept Balls to the Wall, Jethro Tull, Aqualung. This is in the freebie pile, so I just grabbed that. This was not in the freebie pile. The Sermon by Jimmy Smith. Blue Note there. Another copy of Marvin Gaye, I Want You, first pressing. Again, a lot of this rhythm and blues, not particularly native to Australia, so this will probably go to the next record fair with me. The Dells. Found this in the cheapo box. Is on Cadet Records. So there you go. Oh yeah, more Rush. Signals. Yeah. Subdivisions. The Mothers, Fillmore East. Beautiful copy on Bizarre. Michael Jackson, Thriller. Now I got this. One thing you may want to keep an eye out for. Michael Jackson, when in the first runs of Thriller, it just says produced by Quincy Jones for Quincy Jones. Now, after the record started really taking off, Michael Jackson said, I want some of that producer money. I should be having that. So they added his name, produced by Quincy Jones and co-produced by Michael Jackson or something like that. So there's a second line here, and that indicates one of the later pressings. So this is an earlier pressing. And I found this at a reasonably good price on Epic. So, yeah, it's very cool. Now, we had Bernie Grundman on the show, and he talked all about mastering Thriller and how many copies he had to make of the master since they were selling billions each week. So check that out, the Bernie Grundman interview on the Vinyl Guide. Oh, Pyromania. Again, this is one of those albums I'll take to the record fair and help fund my next trip. Oh, yes. ACDC Powerage, a U.S. pressing, which I think Australians will go ape over. I'm not sure who mastered this one, but I'm sure it's and finally Bo Diddley, greatest hits, and then a couple of 45s. I got Serge the Chuck Mosley in the freebie pile at that one record place, the music place. There was an Elvis one, and this one, Sounds of the Air Force, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I don't know. I'll see what that is. That's just weird. It has this big tile block. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's not asbestos or anything, but yeah. All right, there it is. the LA Record Road Trip. Oh, hang on, one more bag. This was for my son. He loves this album. He loves this artist here. XXX Tentacion. And this is a 3-record set, and he loves this artist, and he and I listen to a lot of this guy on the road, and this guy's pretty unique, pretty interesting. So, you know, check him out, XXX Tentacion. And that's it. So, all right, for the vinyl guide, this is Nate. Thank you so much for, what is it? Joining me here on this video and sharing the excitement for records that I do and that I have, and for following us here on the Vinyl Guide. And please subscribe to this channel, subscribe to our podcast at thevinylguide.com, and there we go. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Rock on. Cheers.